Hello everyone, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate this conference very much, and I've been learning a lot through excellent and esteemed speakers. But I felt one most important thing was missing. That is what is happening in Fukushima and East Japan. Actually, already there have been people who have been showing symptoms. In the last session, there was some professor who was talking about the immediate emergency of symptoms that has been happening. In Fukushima, I've heard a lot of stories of children who got nose bleeding, vomiting, diarrhea, and rashes all over. It was so common. And people started to talk about it right after the accident, but now people got used to it, and they don't even talk about it. And as Dr. Hashimoto had said, government-sided doctors are on the top of medical society in Japan, and they are trying to conceal these kind of symptoms occurring apparently because of radiation effect. And they are saying totally the opposite thing. Only about 1 or 2 months ago, I made a phone call to Society of Medicine in Japan, and their answer was, we haven't found any health hazards so far caused by radiation. That's their attitude. I think they are criminals, because I have seen lots of people who have been complaining about nose bleeding, diarrhea, vomiting, and so on. And on top of that, I myself have experienced such kind of, not exactly the same, but let me explain. I was in Tokyo, not in Fukushima, more than 200 kilometers away from the nuclear power plant. Since I do translation as well, and I have translated 3 radiation-related books, and since I knew how dangerous it could be, I evacuated from Tokyo to Okinawa. And the timing of the evacuation was really bad for me, because I evacuated in the afternoon of March 15th. And maybe some of you might know, but in the morning of March 15th, very thick radioactive cloud was passing through Tokyo. And you would be surprised, like per cubic meter, more than 1,000 becquerels of radiation cloud was passing. And Tokyo Metropolitan Government was measuring that real time. They were measuring the real-time radiation particles from the 13th. And from the evening of the 14th, they were watching the figure going up. But they didn't let the residents know about it at all. And so was Fukushima. People only in the very, very small circle were told to be evacuated or stay indoors. But this very thick radioactive plume was moving around, and even though some organization, that organization was Tokyo Metropolitan Government Industry Bureau, had this precise machine measuring the particles, they didn't let the residents know. And I didn't know either, of course, and I was riding a bicycle with my 1-year-old boy, and there was no symptom on that day. I didn't know anything about it. But about 1 month later, my boy and I suddenly got high fever, and my fever was more than 103 Fahrenheit degrees in Celsius, more than 39 degrees. 8 days continuously, never dropping. And I went to the doctor, and I took the flu test. I didn't have any flu. I had the X-ray, nothing, and after that, I got this film, very yellowish and thick film. Oh, I'm sorry, you're eating. But anyway, it kept coming out, and even now, I have this kind of stuck film feeling, even now, even after 2 years. And so I went to the nose doctor quite recently, and the doctor got a tube into my nose, and then I'm not allergic to anything, but he found some inflammation between my nostril and frill. That is the reason of irritation. And also my boy was so healthy until that accident. He was 1 year and 4 months old, and he had never had any fever by catching cold. And since I'm a translator, I sometimes translate at home, and I took him to the daycare where many children are playing around, and of course some children get cold and everything, but my boy was fine. Never a single cold until 1 year and 4 months old. But at the same time, when I started to have high fever, he also had high fever, about 101 Fahrenheit degrees, more than 38 degrees. On and off, 13 times in 3 months. I was so, shocked and nervous, and I immediately realized, we got exposed. And somehow I checked the internet and found out that Tokyo Metropolitan Government's real-time measurement figures, and I was like freaking out because more than 1,000 becquerels per cubic meters of air we have inhaled. And about some months later, Tokyo Metropolitan Government announced only on the internet that Tokyo Metropolitan residents had inhaled 3,600 becquerels of particles, radioactive particles, in March alone. So, even Tokyo people have been exposed to radiation, that's for sure. Of course, there is a big difference if you're outside or inside. And actually, I've heard a lot of stories from mothers who got sick, like me, and whose children got sick, and they went to the doctors, and they checked the thyroid, and lots of children, and even mothers, had nodules. I myself got my thyroid tested. I have 2 small nodules in my thyroid, and my boy have countless, very minute nodules all over. And actually, this test was conducted by Dr. Hashimoto, my dear friend doctor. 2 minutes more. Okay. And she is actually working in Osaka, west side of Japan area. And she checked Osaka children, and almost no children had minor size of nodules. But when she checked children from Tokyo, almost everybody has it. So what does this mean? I think this is the most important thing. Even Tokyo kids are showing abnormality. Of course, Dr. Hashimoto went to Fukushima as well, and she just showed you how bad it is through pictures. If some of you might have missed it, please ask her to show the pictures. Fukushima children are in danger, really. So what we have to do now is to find some way to evacuate these kids to safe area. Otherwise, I'm sure, lots of kids will be from Chernobyl. We know that it's not only cancer, all sorts of disease. And I myself am very worried about lung cancer. Since we have inhaled, so many number of people have inhaled, even in Tokyo, 3,600 becquerels. And I heard some stories about diabetes. Diabetes getting immersed, getting high, even among children in Fukushima. What does that mean? And also, heart anomaly rate has been increased in Ibaraki Prefecture, just below Fukushima Prefecture, among children, junior high school kids. And so, it is already coming up, and I think this kind of story is the most urgent subject. And unless we do something, we cannot save children's lives. We don't need to study, we just want a way to evacuate kids. Thank you very much.